At a number of universities, after the kids were evicted from their encampments, many arrested for violation of numerous laws, they are now too stressed to take finals and finish their term papers and complete the curriculum. So they're demanding passing grades, even though they didn't finish school. What do you think about that? A number of universities where there have been encampments are being presented with demands from the occupiers of the quads to say that we can't take the final exams and we must be given passing grades because we're so shaken up by our own protesting that we're irreparably emotionally harmed. Remember a few years ago when there were all these safe spaces, where
right.
In some dorms, it was like blacks only or gays only or short people or whatever. And if you weren't
everybody but someone white.
Yeah. And if you didn't meet the qualifications, you couldn't come in and people would start screaming, white person. And everyone would freak out, because someone had come into the safe space.
Oh, my goodness.
And they were having last year graduation parties for blacks or Hispanics.
I remember that.
Or gays or
people of color.
Yeah, but
people of color. Yep.
Asians didn't get them and whites didn't get them. And certainly Jews didn't get them because that would have been racist.
Yeah.
So now Columbia is considering, it's not a joke, canceling all final exams and giving everyone passing grades, whether they took the tests or not, and whether or not they completed the work, because the act of protesting, which the university did not support, shook up the students so much they're not emotionally capable of finishing their curriculum. But since they did pay, they should be allowed to graduate.
Oh, my goodness. And this is Columbia doing this, right? If they do this.
Well, a number of schools have had the petition, but Columbia is actually considering it.
If they actually do this, that would tell the world that they actually did support it. If you didn't go to class when you should have been going to class and you didn't take your test, and you didn't study for it when you should have been, and now you're going to use this as like a get out of class pass, right? Out of,
That's what they're demanding.
They're demanding it. But I mean, that's the point that they even considered talking about it, thinking about it. The simple answer in the adult world, Barry, no, it's your fault.
Well, it's not like they got invited by the school and it didn't come out well. The school is saying, no, please don't do this. Please go to class. Please don't block entrances to the dorms. Stop
Barry,
buildings.
What does this do to the youth going out into the real world? Oh, no. Time out. The world needs to stop for me for a second. I'm demanding that you give me this job at this place that I've never worked at before, because I went through this anguish protesting on the college campus. So you have to give me this job. You think that's going to work? No, they're going to say bye. They're not going to even entertain that. They're killing our society.
I would add to your comment, Will, that there are a number of major employers, especially law firms, that are saying, like the Columbia Law School and Georgetown Law, don't even bother applying. We're not going to consider your resume if you were one of those arrested, blah, blah, blah. And that, to me, is the job market saying, consequence time.
Yeah, because what happened is that they had that mentality for protesting and supporting Hamas. They're going to bring that mentality to their company, and they're going to start up a company riot, or they'll start up a company, protest against the people who created the company, start calling them capitalists. How dare you make all of this money while they're getting paid? So the companies are like, no, this is not going to be good for our environment. So good for them. But you know what the really crazy thing about this is that these students that protested and got arrested, they're going to be crying and kicking and screaming, talking about, I can't get a job because I exercised my free speech and they won't give me a job. I was exercising my free speech. But the young man that was making the monkey faces, they're all screaming about him never ever being able to get a job for the rest of his life. We're talking about double standards, and all he was doing is making funny faces. He wasn't telling people that they couldn't go to class. The woman that he was making the faces to, she could have gone to class. She didn't have to be there. She could have walked to class. Might take her a while, but she could walk to class. But they want to shut him down, but oh no. But you know what, Barry? That's probably why they're ripping up their diplomas too. Well, I can't get a job. This don't mean nothing to me now. I got arrested. I am not going to be able to get a job with this.
And you know what's the ultimate insult? When they say, I'm not paying back my $250,000 in student loans.
Yeah.
And Joe Biden's
going to pay for it anyways.
Okay. We're not forgiving the loans because they're not forgiven. We're just going to transfer it to the people that pay taxes, like Will Johnson and Barry Nussbaum are going to pay for those people's student loans because they're not forgiven. The debt is transferred from the bank to the government. And then the government transfers it to you.
Yep.
That's
why they knew it was coming. That's the reason why they were screaming about hiring 87,000 armed IRS agents, because I'm like, well, I'm not paying for your student loan. Oh, yes, you are.
Oh, yeah, you are.
Because we're going to send these armed IRS agents to come get the money from you.
Yeah, this block on my waist says you are.